Hello, everybody. I am Rusty. I'm going to be playing some No Man's Sky. Specifically, I'm going to be playing what I'm going to call Intro to No Man's Sky. We are going to be playing in relaxed mode so that I have plenty of time to discuss what it is I'm doing. We're not going to be pushing for any time records or anything like that. I've been playing No Man's Sky now for 6 years, 5 years, I think. I've been playing, I've got over, I want to say 1,500 hours on PS4 and 3,500 hours here on in Steam. And I've played on Switch and Steam Deck as well. I've not played on the Xbox. If that's what you've got, you're going to find that the game is pretty much the same on Xbox as it is on Windows. There are some differences, there always are, but one of the things that the people at Hello Games did their very best to do was to make sure that the game could be played on all these systems. So we've got a couple of relaxed saves up here. 22 hours in, I've already got some stuff that you would not expect to find in a new, or in somebody playing new. So we're going to go with a new game, and this is going to be our Wednesday's game. Normal is the normal starting play. It can get kind of rough to play and frustrating if you're not familiar with it, if you're not familiar with the controller, things like that. For that, survival or creative may be more useful. The idea being that you can get a feel for how the game's mechanics works. You can play creative all you want. There's no issue with that. Relaxed is what we're going to do today. We've got a lot of things going on in relaxed, but that's there. Survival is considered the step up in difficulty from normal. There are some things like the fact that you don't have as much space in your inventory. You haven't usually as many slots available. You just are limited in the number of or amount of stuff you can put in it in a way you don't see in normal or relaxed. Difference between relaxed and normal is primarily the threats are much reduced in relaxed. You can still end up in a lot of combat, and we'll see if you do any of that. Probably not today, but there is an option. It's one of the things that can happen, and it does happen a lot. If you're not up for combat, relax might be a good way to go. If you want to get into combat, you may want to play a save and relax for a little bit to get an idea for what it is you can and can't do at certain points in the game in your play. On the PS4, each of these stars that are called out or named have a percentage mark underneath them, indicating how far along the loading is at least what Hello Games thinks the loading should be. All right, we'll end up on one of 4 or 5 different planets. These are expected to be tougher planets than you normally would expect to be on, or tougher planets than some of the planets that we kind of like to be on. There are, because you're in a suit that is, I will say, compromised. It's not badly compromised, but it's not great. It's not as bad as some of the, or it's definitely not an extreme world.
Aerial
But
propulsion jetpack.
in this case, we've got a cold planet.
Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational.
So right off the bat, we need carbon and ferrite dust.
Thermal protection falling.
We need a couple of things as well, but I'm mostly looking for rocks. The other thing I'd like to find is some sort of shelter. Get a hint as to what we need to take care of right off the bat in that dialogue to the left. And it tells me that's broken, so I've got to fix that. And I've got enough ferrite dust.
Component repaired.
I like to add one component as well. I need one of these to go with that. Now, the game does prompt you to find that later on, but okay, we're looking for Na for the yellow symbols here. Na plus is nice to have as well, but okay, now we've got a little bit of time, so we're going to scan life forms. And we've got a signal to where our starship is. Note you do get aid for scanning creatures in a monetary form called units. Okay, starship is over there. And you'll see that I've got two icons here. The red icon is the one the game is setting up for as part of the step-by-step or the tutorial thing. The black icon is the icon that the scanner is showing, and there's a separation between them with good reason. Because they're actually identifying different things. Let's see, how much? Okay, we've got enough for now.
Thermal protection falling.
You notice that our thermal protection is falling. That's normal. And yes, it is kind of worrying, but it just means that we don't have something that will give us extra thermal protection. One of the things is we've got 7 creatures on this planet. It just pops up in the corner there. And we've identified 4 of them. You don't get a reference for how many plants or animals, or plants or minerals you find, because they really don't have a fixed limit on those. Okay. We'll look more for that in a little bit. If you don't scan a creature within a specific amount of time, it will pop out of range and basically vanish for them. All right, we got us a beacon. Our test. Anomaly is compliant. Position 1. System integrity scan initialized. All right. Need the oxygen as part of dropping a refiner. We collect everything else we can. I can't collect that yet because I don't have the blueprint for that Atlas Pass 1. We'll put that in the starship for now. I'm glad that it gifted me a dihydrogen jelly, because I did not spot any dihydrogen on it. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I want to make one of these, and I need metal plating for that. So let's make up 2 metal plate. Just need 1 for the refiner.
Technology recharge.
But we're going to need more. So let's move this over here. That goes in there. I'm going to need ferrite, pure ferrite, as opposed to ferrite dust. Fix up that as well. We're going to use this for the pure ferrite that we're going to need. There are a couple of reasons to compress or set up condensed carbon instead of carbon, and sodium nitrate instead of sodium. All right, while this is crunching, I'm going to come over into my discoveries and see we've got 6 out of 7 discoveries for fauna. And it says this last one is rare and underground. It's always active. So, underground is good for a number of things. And we'll get to that. Meanwhile, we'll come over here hop on board, get hooked up with the starship. Atlas connection is intermittent. Launch thrusters are offline. Pulse engines offline. Find myself alone in a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of it before. But the ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline up to the stars. Let's read the log. And log is unavailable. Oh, system data. Exosuit connected, suggest pilots for maintenance. Typical repair ship systems. So it wants me to make repairs. And that's down. Actually, I've already fixed the metal plating, but it doesn't understand that. All right. So now we fix up what we need. Your ferrite 4. No, you don't have to do it in this order. The first thing it wants you to fix is the pulse engine. But you can't get off the ground without the launch thrusters, so let's fix that up as well. Don't want to leave that lying in the ground. All right. I'm going to put the rest of this in my suit down here. Just here. I've got enough oxygen for this piece of technology. This needs 60 oxygen. And that helps with the life support system. Life support and hazard protection are different things. And it's critically damaged, vital ingredient missing, and I have to synthesize required component. Pulse engine requires a hermetic seal, so request assistance. Recommended iteration reveals hermetic seals nearby. Salvage planetary chart from the distress beacon. Okay. So we come back over to the distress beacon. Or got the icon saying what you're looking for is right here. Grab a planetary chart. And now that's going to be our inventory. So, do a search. And it says, it looks like it's up near the top of the map here. Over there. I don't collect all of those, and I'm not going to collect a lot of them. In a tent, various of that you'll find, specifically the ones that you don't actually get to scan, but have materials on them, will recharge life support, hazard protection, and so on. So we get a storm as we're on our way to the building over there. One of the things I like to do while I'm out is look around for other buildings and other resources. So we get another one of those plants coming up over here.
Thermal protection falling.
And I found that in Relax Play, you can usually get to the this destination, get through this storm without having to go through a lot of repairs and fixes or anything. You get into the survival and permadeath levels, and those tend to require more effort. And more work. You end up having to recharge your life support a lot earlier, and your hazard protection. You'll see that life support isn't even showing up on here as something that needs to be addressed. Part of that may very well be that I've not been running hard or doing a bunch of other things. Hazard protection will recharge on its own when hazards fade. Or when you get inside. All right. Universal Language Database. Terminal online. Universal Translation Service for each life form direct dictionary available. Around the world. All right. Accessing archives. Existing logs are corrupted. Entry 4924 out there follows. No, I'm making this recording in case leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. The advisor damaged. Can't find ship. So let's recover supplies. The log finishes and the machine lures the light, spitting out supplies. I have the chromatic seal I need to repair my ship. Whoever was it led me here. Whoever left this message. Perhaps they found themselves in the same situation as I do now. You can sit in these chairs. You can collect oxygen or carbon from these plants. Some of the chairs you can't sit in, they spin instead. Always a good idea to come and take a look at the other resource or the other shelter in these shelters. This is a first aid kit if you are experiencing damage or because of something you've done or something that's going on. The first aid kit can be handy. Some of these junk are worth hanging on to. I tend to like to hang on to rusted metal for now. There are some tricks that sometimes work on getting these buried technology, and you do want the buried salvage tech. The creatures pretty much all want to be fed. Alright, I'm going to pop around out here and see if we've got a cave nearby. There's a couple of reasons we want to find caves. One is that life form. The other is some of the resources that are in it. All right. One of the resources we can find in here is these stalactites and stalagmites. Almost all of them will have cobalt, and some will have other materials as well. Well, bulb will refine down to sodium, which makes it kind of worthwhile hanging on to or collecting a little bit. More in normal and survival than here, but these plants are hazardous, but you also, if you mine them, get resources for them. So, it looks like I have not explained why I'm looking for the that life form. One of the rewards for finding all of the life forms is to collect a bunch of, or to receive a bunch of nanite clusters. And nanite clusters are handy for retrieving or for collecting a variety of material. For getting blueprints. And for upgrading your multi-tool, your starship, in class, as well as to get modules for various things. You do get rewarded for scanning these plants, and this plant, as well as the sodium and oxygen plants, are on all planets. So, but at the same time, it's not a scan it once and you've got it for all planets. It's to scan it on each planet and you get rewarded for it.
Protection fully.
Getting oxygen is not a bad thing. Yes, sodium is what you get for those plants, but you also get money for units for scanning them. Now, there are some things that you can't mine yet. Mostly the stuff that's listed as pure ferrite, you're not going to be able to mine. It's not... Buried caches are one of my favorite things. If you're really hard pressed for cash, money, units, you can sell the buried cache as you retrieve it. However, you're not going to get a lot of money for it. So what you do instead is you analyze it. And yes, I will go out of my way to find buried cache. Or to collect a buried cache. Yes, it is. That's just a cargo drop. Yep. Cargo drops, I may say that it's just in a dismissive tone, but it's not really just a. Cargo drops tend to have useful resources as well. And you just need to collect it using the X button, or oops, that's a cargo drop. I was looking for bird cache. The same way you collect any other resource, most other resources. All right, so all we get for these is nanites when I analyze those two devices, two rewards. But 240 nanites is actually useful. I'm going to scan those. Like the rusted metal. Unlike normal survival, other modes, in relaxed mode, you have access to your starship pretty much wherever you are, as far as storage. Various deposits. When you can scan or mine them, they provide junk. But the junk refines into nanite clusters, so it can be worthwhile if that's what you're looking for. You'll notice across the top of my screen I'm getting indications of things that are nearby. Including hazards. A lot of times these guys just give you nanites like that, and they can be worthwhile as a result. All right. Take a quick gander around, or right down here is some salvage data. Collecting 4 here. Which, considering we can't dig it all, so there's one of the hazards that shows up. You see it in the top of my screen. When you scan, or when you open up the scanner, you can see that it's there, and you can scan it, get rewarded for it. You can also get oxygen by mining them. And that's true for pretty much all of the hazardous fauna or flora on the surface, on the ground. Underground, you'll get sodium or oxygen. I'm not expecting to see any, but I am looking for little red dots. indicating that we've got a creature that I haven't scanned somewhere right nearby, or where that dot is. We'll swing by this cargo drop. There. Now it shows up in my, at the top of my screen, heads up display. Okay, we get another pair of those. And picked up some dihydrogen. Dihydrogen is handy as a fuel source, as resources for other materials. You will find it useful when you're trying to make deuterium, because you can collect deuterium from the blue flower plants, but that goes directly into your your rocket, your jump jets, whatever you want to call them. That mode of transport. If you can't collect something, you'll get a you'll get a X through what you're looking at. And you've probably seen that for pure ferrite already. A bit of extra ferrite dust is worth hanging on to or collecting.
Thermal protection falling.
The bird calf is about to go under the way. Now pass the there. Some of these are quite close to the ground, and so you can pick them up. Some of them not so much. And if you can't pick it up, don't worry about it at this point. We will be taking care of that in a little bit. Again, doing a scan to see if I can see any other buildings. Can't at this point. Collect more carbon. Now you can end up with more carbon than you need. Most of the time you can convert it to condensed carbon, unless you don't have a refiner, but we've got one. So there's one of the reasons you want to hang on to the refiner you've got. And now we can fix up that. You could probably fix it up the moment you got the hermetic seal, but I like to wait till we get back to the starship. I am now looking for two different things. First thing I'm looking for is a trade store, basically a store. Minor settlements, they call it. And that is not this. This is an abandoned building. And you've probably noticed the audio dropped into a different tonal march while we were near it. Can't use that yet. That's called a trade terminal, and you have to have completed certain other activities before you can use the trade terminals, the floating standalone ones. Filter. I'm going to acknowledge up front that I limit the amount of takeoffs and landings I do, because in some of the more strenuous versions, stressful ones, taking off and landing cost you launch fuel at a high or disproportionately high rate. You can address that in some ways. By making more launch fuel. But that takes the hydrogen and metal plating. And sometimes that seems a little difficult to find. Okay. This is one of those situations where, yeah, I won't land at it, even though it would be potentially helpful. Land once you've done that. Mod. And you see I'm not acting too worried about it. We're going to pick up another word, because it may help us. But I already am familiar with what the options will be. Alarms blare, sounding out against my intrusion. The facility is remotely operated. No response to the galaxies call. The terminal indicates that the facility was undertaking a specialized piece of research. As you get, no, this is not helping me, is it? Nitrobulk? Great. The terminal appears to be asking for manual confirmation of its experiment. I'm going to end the experiment. Tap a few commands into the terminal, bringing it to an end. A small amount of ash is ejected from a nearby hopper. Machinery hums as it reconfigures itself for standard research operations. Normal operations have resumed, and I have access to the facility's main control panel. Should be able to alter production to my own benefit. So we can extract the nanites, collect a multi-tool expansion slot, or create a multi-tool expansion slot, or learn a new recipe. Learning a new recipe sounds like a good idea. The two that are useful at this stage are the Atlas Pass and the microprocessor. I go with the microprocessor. These and the seconds are still angry with us. All right. Stage, I'm going to hit the select a few of those things. Hit a save point. And then I'm going to reload that save point, restore point. 1607. That's more recent. Maybe just after we collected the Yes, I am reasonably close to a railroad. That's what I thought. That's the first time I've seen a railroad do that. All right. So that's what's available again. That's available again. but we're not getting more for it. These save we worked with didn't have it. Alright. Oh. We do want to hit that save point still. I'll admit you can travel in any direction you like in your flight, but north and south tend to guide you to other resources if you have been at one. Other structures and so on. So when you find a structure, flying north or south from that tends to give you better results. Down in the lower left side of the cockpit, you'll see we have a set of numbers that are changing. They are our latitude and longitude for where we are in the planet. Says we're pretty far north at 68 degrees, 68 plus, or minus. Actually, minus 68 means we're pretty far south. So flying north is actually not a bad deal. Now, I'm not landing at every shelter for pretty much the same reason. I'm not landing at some of the markers that were out there that we've walked by or that flown by. They're going to require launch fuel to get off the ground. All right, we have a starship in the area. Possibly on the ground. Yep, it is on the ground. This is a crashed starship, and this is what I call a repair job. I.e., we are not going to collect this starship. We're going to talk to this guy, and he's going to tell us that we should not do anything with this. Mostly because for him or her or it, this repair would be deadly to discharge of light and heat, pain flashes, etc. Well, it does not seem to have done any permanent damage to the ship. It's not repaired. So we'll fix that. Go talk to this guy again. Tell him his starship is ready to go. Wave farewell. And he gives us some reputation points, which is handy. Alright. I am not going to hang on to this at this point. That refines into runway mold, which becomes nanite clusters. But for the most part, unless you've got a lot of them, it is not really worthwhile. We got that there. Alright, I'm going to get that. Yep, that's a buried cache, and it's pretty close. Except that is not like this. Underground. Maybe we can get to it though, but I'm not going to fret too much about it. On the other hand, we do still have one life form that we need to find, and this is actually a pretty good place to find that for a couple of reasons. One, crash sites tend to have, or well, we'll call them crash sites, sites where downed Starfleet ships are, tend to have caves around them, or in their area. But apparently not this one. All right. Back to flying north. And that's actually what I was looking for. I'd like to have found that last life form first, but 356 nanite clusters will be useful. Plus, we've got the reputation already. So, alright, multi-tool. Nice. Don't have the funds for it. I need 800. Well, let's see, do I have stuff I can sell that will come to that? Cobalt, I want a 74 worth.
Units received.
Those.
Received.
Well,
Units
still not enough. Alright, well. Often you will find a nanite repository in here, but not today. Not this one, I should say. Alright. Actually, we need something else first. Just blueprints. So, 356 nanocodes, and it looks like I can probably pick up everything. Teleport received. Finding laser, stimulator, sniper. Alright. Now we need to see about picking up some other stuff if we can. Pick up one. I can't pick up all of that. And pick up two.
Product received.
Two of those. Alright, well. Somewhat limits what I can make. Let's see. That there. Put in one of these. I don't need magnetized ferrite and such. Put in one of these. Carbon nanotubes and hermetic seals.
Technology installed.
So, you need those. One of those. One of those. Carbon nanotube. And a hermetic seal. Alright. Check, do we have... Oh, we do have a couple of these, so we'll pick up two. Don't need it really, but... I've seen people say always pick up the ferrite dust. Not really that focused on it, but you're welcome to. Those are the things we need, or we can pick up. Off the bat. Usually there is a cave nearby. Not always.
Thermal protection falling. Units received.
All right. I suspect that if there is a cave around here, It's below us. And not just because it's underground, but because that's kind of where it would have to be. The terrain above us doesn't appear to have it. All right. I need some pure ferrite. We'll give this some condensed carbon.
Technology recharged.
My mistake. I don't need pure ferrite. I need magnetized ferrite.
Units received. Units received.
Well, not enough to buy launch or Starship launch fuel. Still can't make it. Matter of fact, no, they don't have everything I need to make it. Let's give him some pure ferrite. Apparently he wasn't looking for pure ferrite. Magnetized ferrite, perhaps? I'm just going to run this to 200. Put this back in the spare ship. Spin this up. 200. Now I got one of the batteries. I'm going to spin to 200 pure ferrite and then 100 magnetized ferrite. Alright, that goes into the suit. And we finished fixing that up. That will increase our reward a little bit on some things. I think it like doubles what we end up with for most things. Flying over us. Okay. Let's go do that. Okay. Yes, I went and did. Alright, let's see. If it's still mineable, like that one, it'll have a value listed to it. But I'm going to leave the one So what did we pick up? Granitine? Let's see. Picked up a little bit of it. Very dust. I think that's enough for that multi-tool, but let's take a look. Let's see if we can find that. Store again. At the very least, we should be able to pick up some launch fuel this time.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
I'll still need more than twice as much as I've got. Launch fuel, though, would be good.
Products received.
And let's move that to the starship. Yes, we have milestones. 4 out of the 10 milestones met. Quick runabout. I would be a little surprised if this was another depot. Less surprised at that. Not at all surprised to see those. I did not pick up what I need for that. Probably should have. Specifically, I need a work cell container or antimatter container vessel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, not seeing anything flying there, so maybe we've got another crashed starship. Maybe this one's not a repair job. Not a repair job. It's a shuttle. Alright, let's move this over here just in case I need that. Alright. I'm really only looking for this for one thing, and let's do that. There we go. All right. What have we got? E-Class. Can't fly it yet, but I'm more than happy to claim it. So I'm going to need these, all these.
Component repaired. Component repaired.
That is why we can't fly it yet.
Component repaired.
But as soon as we get some copper, we can do that.
Thermal protection 40. Units received.
The other hand, maybe a couple that I'm not going to be able to collect. Or it looks like I'm not going to collect, but I actually am. It's like 3 of them. All right. These crashed starships are where I tend to find that last underground life form. Very often wandering around outside the cave. But I'll happily run around inside a cave. Again, we're looking for a red dot. Eight one is kind of a mixed blessing. You get a higher efficiency when the beam is hot, but yeah, at some point it's going to get so hot that you're not going to be able to collect anything. It's going to go offline. Right. It looks like that's not going to be useful to me. It is actually outside.
Units received.
Oh, that's what Alright. Check them all in. I think I've got all these humming sacks. Okay. Alright, got a milestone. All creatures on one planet. Hmm. So apparently without the terrain manipulator, we can't get to that place. I'm going to switch back to my primary. Craft. Oops. Hazardous plants. All right. Downside is the farther away I get from that minor settlement, the less likely it is I'm going to find it. Going back. But we can see if it's a common multi-tool here. Okay. Still don't have enough for it, I don't believe, but let's see. Unless I sell salvage data. Which maybe I will, but
Units received.
no, but
Units received. Units received.
right. How much for outright? $120.
Units received.
Alright. Pretty sure I've got all the blueprints.
Product received. Product received. Product received. Product received.
Upper and a chromatic map. Nope. Add it to this. Very cool.
Product received.
Yeah.
Technology installed. Technology installed.
This one's done. Okay. Once we get off this planet, we don't have to do that with the little board every time. Somewhere along the line, anyway. All right. different people, different choices. I tend to build up at least the first 2 to 3 rows before I really get intent on build or reconstructing the adding a lot of space to my primary suit. There we go. Shelters do not tend to have landing rings. I like landing rings. I don't use launch fuel for or on them. Okay. Come on. There's a nut on the sentinel. Okay, well in that case you don't mind taking a nap, right? Alright. You get a little bit of the lore from the access logs, but at the moment it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think we'll take that. We really will. Now, on that note, let's see what we get got for it. All right. It has been 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is as good a place as any to quit, come back next time, or next week, and we'll see where we go. Again, we are doing this as a new save the first Wednesday of every month. Once I get it figured out, I will do what I can to get one of those saves being on a Nintendo Switch. Basically, one of those months will be Nintendo Switch month, and we will walk through doing the a relaxed save for that month on Nintendo Switch, and probably do the same thing for the PS4, assuming my PS4 will still boot. It should. In any case, I want to thank you for hanging there, stopping in, hanging out, and hope you have a wonderful weekend or a wonderful day, and have a great week. Take care.